Well, the Marvels is finally here, so we can finally quit shitting on it and get moving on to better things. Let's review this son of a bitch. The Marvels stars Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, Iman Vellani, and is directed by Nia DaCosta. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2023 review. It's time to finally review The Marvels. It feels like we've heard about this movie forever. And it might not be that long, but I feel like I've heard that title, The Marvels, for 2 years now. I don't know. And I don't even remember if it got pushed back because I'm not in the business of shitting all over, you know, the MCU in general, you know, and that's great. There's channels that they just cover that type of stuff, you know. I'm more on the horror side of things here, but I like covering movies in general, and I do superhero movies and whatnot. And I go into every movie that I see wanting to give it a fair chance, and I do that. I always give a movie a fair chance. I go in with the best expectations. Sometimes the lowest expectations, which is what I did for this movie. And I will say, it did start off strong for about 2 minutes. And then it started going downhill just a little bit. And maybe that's unfair. Maybe it was 10 minutes. I don't know. But before we dive deep, let me give you a quick plot synopsis. Basically, this is Captain Marvel 2. This is the sequel to the first movie. Like many other properties before, remember like how they did Batman v Superman instead of jumping right over to Man of Steel 2? Because maybe they didn't have enough faith in Man of Steel for a sequel. Well, this is kind of the same deal here. Maybe they didn't have enough faith for Captain Marvel 2, even though that movie made $1 billion. I think the movie didn't age that well. And also, Brie Larson did catch a lot of flack in the press. I don't really get into that side of things that much. You know, I don't know Brie Larson as a person. And I cut every celebrity some slack because everything they do, everything they say is amplified to the public. Whereas, you know, we're not perfect, right? We do stupid shit behind the scenes that nobody knows about. So I do cut Brie Larson and everybody else some slack. I'm not a Brie Larson hater at all. And I'll even say right now, she's the best part of this movie. Easily the best part of this movie. So the plot here is you have her, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan, known as Miss Marvel. They don't intend to join forces. They're kind of forced into joining forces because we have our main villain, Darwin, and she has this bingle, this wrist weapon. And it's one of those situations where there's two of them. We've seen this happen so many times, and they need to put the two together. Miss Marvel is the one that has the other one. And so her mission is to get to that one. Her big thing is she wants to consume energy from different planets, you know, because her home turf without, I don't want to give too much away because I know they're trying to be hush-hush about the plot of this movie. But let's just say Captain Marvel is a big reason why her planet is suffering, and she wants revenge, and she wants to, I guess, heal her planet. And because of the bingle weapon, I don't like saying that word, bingles. It makes me feel weird. This causes the three main characters. At first, when I saw the trailer, I thought they would be trading powers, but they're not. What they're doing is just trading places. If two of them use their powers at the same time, they'll swap locations. So one of them could be fighting somebody in the desert, and the other one could be fighting somebody in the ocean. And if they use the powers at the same time, they'll swap. One of those type deals. Sounds like a fun idea, right? For 5 minutes, it's fun, and then it gets kind of annoying. There's this cute little montage where they try to figure out how to harness that power to make it useful to their benefit. Because at first, they're fighting somebody and then they're somewhere else, and it can become chaotic. But then after that, they learn how to use it in their favor. Okay, before I tell you what I don't like about this movie, I will tell you one, maybe two things I liked about it. Like I said, I liked Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I like how they set her up as almost a Superman type figure. And Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is kind of obsessed with her. And that's definitely on the con side of things, which we'll get into that, just because of the way that character's handled and the performance. But I'm not a big Captain Marvel fan. You know, I don't think the character has enough of a personality, especially in the first movie. She really had zero personality. I think she has a little bit more personality in this movie. But she doesn't even compare to a lot of our favorite MCU heroes, you know, as far as like just having a character. And the same goes for this movie, but I still kind of liked how she is boosted up. I think Brie Larson, she's almost there. The character's almost there, but she's not like, you know, I guess Wonder Woman level, even though the Wonder Woman sequels are nothing to write home about at all. I guess there's only one sequel, but yeah. And I guess one more pro is there are a couple of fun action sequences, especially when they're swapping locations and whatnot. There's some annoying ones too, and there's some really, really bad CGI. There are a couple of fun action sequences, I will say that. So now let's jump into the cons. Again, we have a situation where we have a villain that is not interesting at all. They're going for the sympathetic villain here, but you don't really have sympathy for her. She's just not really built up to feel like we know her that well. You don't really get a great sense of what her powers are. I mean, you get an idea. I think as far as like a barometer, like a spectrum of powers, like this character has a lot more powers than this character, you don't really get a good sense of that. Even in their main three, they all have their own powers, but they all kind of seem even kill a little bit. There are a couple of sequences that are extremely annoying, and they are blatant attempts at comedy that fail miserably. There's one where they go to this location where everybody sings. That's their language. They sing. The comedy in that sequence feels very forced. It doesn't really amount to anything, you know? And I could see an idea like that in, say, like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and they could probably knock it out of the park. James Gunn knows how to handle, I guess, weird comedy. And they're going for weird comedy in this sequence, but it just fails. There's also, of course, a sequence with cats. I won't go into too much detail. I got a feeling the studio doesn't want you to. But I don't really want to see that much cat action in my Marvel movie, and maybe somebody else does, because it's either going to be exciting or funny or both, and it's neither. But really the big thing about this movie, again, just horrible CGI, but also just really bad writing. The jokes don't really land, and as much shit as I give the Marvel for leaning way too heavily on jokes, at least most of the time, they're somewhat funny. But there were quite a few moments in this where they were trying to get a joke out, but the audience didn't really laugh. Sometimes deafening silence. I don't think our core three here had great chemistry with each other. Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, wow. This character was pretty much the Jar Jar Binks of the movie. Extremely annoying. Not a really solid performance. Every time she was in the same room with Captain Marvel, she was fangirling out big time, but they went overboard with it, and she would do the squealing noises, and I just wasn't here for it. It was quite annoying. So overall, guys, this is just a big, stinking 2 hours lost, and I went into it wanting to like it. You know, I like something fun and light in a Marvel movie. You know, one thing about Marvel is they do give you a lot of different flavors. But yeah, this flavor tasted like shit, so. Not the review you're looking for, I know. I know some people, they love Captain Marvel and they love this world, and they're gonna go into this and they're gonna like it probably. But I'm here to tell you right now, I did not like this movie at all. So let me know down in the comments once you guys see it, what you think. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums and on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me coffee. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out.